बोल हरि बोल। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Today is a very auspicious day, Vaikuntha Ekadashi. In south, there is a Vaikuntha Vasal, where all the devotees, they stand in queue right from one day before, just to enter from that Vasal. It is said, whoever enters Vaikuntha Vasal, they have sure destination to go to Vaikuntha. So that is the strong faith. Anyhow, let us start with the purity of devotional service, chapter 5, 1.2.
से वो बीच में 1.2.41 से स्टार्ट करना था।
कहाँ से?
ये बाकी था ना, डिवोशनल सर्विस सरपासेस ऑल लिबरेशन।
वो अच्छा हुआ नहीं था क्या पूरा?
नहीं हुआ था, छूट गया था बीच में।
1.2.41 ठीक है। सो मैसेज वो निकाल देंगी, मैं फिर आज ही कंप्लीट कर लेंगे। सो इन द 11th कैंटो ऑफ श्रीमद् भागवत है, इसमें डाला है, स्क्रीन में डाला है। So the quotations are given from Bhagavatam, from different chapters. How mukti mukti spruha yavat pisachi vivartate. To prove this statement that bhukti and mukti both are pisachi. To prove that statement, how bhakti surpasses liberation, that has been given. Now from 11th canto. So this paragraph has 3 verses, 41, 42 and 43. I'll read all the 3 verses and then Krishna Priya Mataji can read the translation, the purport of Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji. I don't have that system so that I cannot read. Thank you.
So the Prabhu can read them. So let me finish first 41, 42 and 43 reading. Ekadashe Shri Bhagavatuktau na kinche sadhavo adhira bhaktah ya ekatino mama vanchanti api maya dattam kaivalyam apunarbhavam. So here in the 11th canto, the Lord is speaking. So in the 11th canto, Lord is speaking. Because my devotees possess saintly behavior and deep intelligence, they completely dedicate themselves to me, and they do not desire anything besides me. Indeed, even if I offer them liberation from birth and death, they do not accept it. See, when you go before Lord, even if you want to ask also, you will forget everything. That is the beauty of Krishna, and that is the mystic power of Krishna. You go before Govinda, you go before Radha Krishna, you cannot ask anything, even if you want to ask also. Because when you go, completely are amazed by seeing the beauty, and especially the devotees, they are not interested to ask anything except devotional service. So, surpasses liberation, that is the power. Devotional service surpasses liberation. Tatha na parameshtyam na mahindra Dishnyam na sarvabhaumam na rasavipatyam na yoga siddhi apunarbhavam va mayyarpitat me chati mad vinanya. So in the 11th canto it is said, the devotee who has offered his soul to me does not want anything even if it is separate from me, not the position of the supreme demigod of the universe, Brahma, nor that of Indra, nor lordship over the entire earth or over the lower planetary systems, nor the mystic perfection of yoga, nor even freedom from the cycle of birth and death. So he doesn't want even any position in the heavenly planet also, nor in the earthly planet. Next is 43. Dvadashe Shri Rudraktav. Jiva Goswami's commentary also will see in this, in the previous verse, in the statement, the order of the first 4 items in progressively lower in value. When these are not accepted, what can be said about a yoga siddhi and liberation? There are even more detestable. The devotee does not want anything at all arising from the achievement of those goals. He only desires me, the goal of the sadhana. I am greater than other goals. So from the topmost to the lowermost is given. That is, he doesn't want Brahmaloka, he doesn't want Indraloka, he doesn't want to rule the earthly planet, he doesn't want lower planetary system. And then what to speak about the siddhis and liberation, that is considered even lowest than the lower planets. So Dvadashi Shri Rudraktau Naivachanti Ashishaha Kwapi Brahmarshir Moksham Api Atah Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Labdhavan Purushe Avyaye. In the 12th canto, Shiva speaks. Surely then this saintly Brahmana does not desire any benediction, not even liberation itself, for he has situated, for he has attained pure devotional service unto the inexhaustible personality of God. So whoever has got that love for Krishna, that is pure devotional service. And before that pure devotional service, any of the 4 above and the 2 below, that is the liberation and Ashtasiddhis and liberation has no value. He doesn't desire Brahmaloka, he doesn't desire Indraloka, he doesn't desire to rule the earthly planet, he doesn't desire the lower planetary system, and below that Ashtasiddhis and liberation is not at all desired. Okay. Gadadhar Prabhu, please read.
Chapter 5, the purity of devotional service. All of the previous
Hare
instructions.
Krishna. Chapter 4 is balanced. So you have to read from here.
Prabhuji, 41. We told now. 1.2.41 onwards. That
So
paragraph.
this my screen is visible, na? Read from in the 11th canto.
I have the book, Prabhu. Book chapter I have to-
Yes, you see the book, 41st page.
Oh,
See the book. 41st page, see the book. You should mark it also, na, where you stop. Last time only you should have marked where we stopped. The 41st page of this book.
Is the 11th canto.
Yes.
The paragraph starts with is the 11th canto of
Yes,
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, last
take
paragraph,
the
41st
pencil,
page.
take the pencil and in that paragraph just mark it 1.2.41, 42, 43. All 3 shlokas are there in this paragraph. Okay, read. Read.
Okay, Mataji. As the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th chapter, verse 34, Lord Krishna says to Uddhava, my dear Uddhava, the devotees who have completely taken shelter of my service are so steadfast in developmental devotional service of spiritual opulences. Steadfast in the devotional service that they have no others desire. Even if they are offered the 4 kinds of spiritual opulences, they will refuse to accept them. So what to speak of their desiring anything within the material world? Similarly, Lord Krishna says, in another passage of the Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 14th chapter, verse 14. My dear Uddhava, a person whose consciousness is completely absorbed in my thought and activities does not aspire even to occupy the post of Brahma or the post of Indra or the post of lordship over the planets or the 8 kinds of mystic perfections or even liberation itself. In the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th chapter, verse number 6, Lord Shiva says to Devi, my dear Devi, the great Brahmana age, the great Brahmana sage, Markandeya has attained unflinching faith and devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as such, he does not aspire after any benedictions, including liberation from the material world. Can I continue the second paragraph? Hare
Wait.
Krishna.
Wait. Now 1.2.44. Padma Purani cha Kartike Mahatmae Damodarashtaki Varam Deva Moksham na Mokshavadhim va na Chanyam Vruneham Varishadapiha Idam Teva Purnatha Gopala Balam Sada me manasya virastam ki manya. In the Padma Puran, Kartika Mahatma, it is said, O Lord, I do not desire liberation, nor anything leading up to liberation from the Lord, who awards benediction. May your form as a young cowherd boy remain in my mind and nothing else. I do not accept anything leading up to liberation. Mokshavadhim. So, Varam Deva Moksham na Mokshavadhim va Nachanyam Vruneham Vareshada Piha. I don't want any moksha. I don't want anything which is leading to moksha. I don't want anything. The liberation from hell or any other place perceived is a type of liberation. I do not want anything. It is all considered the most lowest. Okay. Vaishnav Gaur Prabhu, you read.
Yes, Bhakti. So there was a last page, there was a note. The fifth kind of liberation, merging with the Supreme, is not considered an opulence in spiritual variegated existence. That was in reference to the earlier verse. So similarly, there is a statement in Padam Purana describing the ritualistic function during the month of Kartika, October-November. During this month in Vrindavan, it is the regulative principle to pray daily to Lord Krishna in his Damodar form. The Damodar form refers to Krishna in his childhood when he was tied up with rope by his mother Yashoda. Dam means ropes and Udara means the abdomen. So Mother Yashoda, being disturbed by naughty Krishna, bound him round the abdomen with a rope. Thus Krishna is named Damodar. During Kartika, the Mother is prayed to as follows. My dear Lord, you are the Lord of all, the giver of all benedictions. There are many demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who sometimes offer benediction to their respective devotees. For example, Ravana was blessed with many benedictions by Lord Shiva, and Hiranyakashipu was blessed by Lord Brahma. But even Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma depend upon the benedictions of the Lord Krishna. And therefore, Krishna is addressed as the Lord of all benefactors. As such, Lord Krishna can offer his devotees anything they want, but still the devotee's prayer continues. I do not ask you for liberation or any material facility up to the point of liberation. What I want as your favor is that I may always think of your form in which I see you now as Damodara. You are so beautiful and attractive that my mind does not want anything besides this wonderful form. In this same prayer, there is another passage in which it is said, my dear Lord Damodara, once when you were playing as a naughty boy in the house of Nanda Maharaj, you break You broke the box containing yogurt, and because of that, Mother Yashoda considered you an offender and tied you with the rope to the household grinding mortar. At what time you delivered the two sons of Kuvera, Nal Kuver and Manigriv, who were staying there as two Arjuna trees in the yard of Nanda Maharaj. My only request is that by your merciful pastimes, you may similarly deliver me. Hare Krishna. Next also.
कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमूर्तैव यद्वत् त्वयामोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्य प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे दामोदरेह. Bound up by the Mother Yashoda with the ropes of devotion, you fix the sons of Kuvera and bound them with bhakti. In the same way, please bestow on me prema bhakti. I do not accept liberation. So, bound up by Mother Yashoda, what you did, you also freed. So, you freed the sons of, even though you are bound, Kuveratma Jau Baddha Murtai Vayatvat. They are all tied, but you are also tied. And what you did, they are tied by the curse of Narada, but you freed them, though you are in the bound state. So that has been given. Okay, read further. You only continue.
The story behind this verse is that the two sons of Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods, were puffed up on account of the opulence of their father. And so once on a heavenly planet, they were enjoying themselves in a lake with some naked damsels of heaven. At that time, the great saint Narada Muni was passing on the road and was sorry to see the behavior of the sons of Kuvera. Seeing Narada passing by, the damsels of heaven covered their bodies with cloth, but the two sons, being drunkards, did not have that decency. Narada became angry with their behavior and cursed them thus: "You have no sense, so it is better if you become trees instead of the sons of Kuvera." Upon hearing this, the boys came to their senses and begged Narada to be pardoned for their offenses. Narada then said, "Yes, you shall become trees, Arjuna trees, and you will stand in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. But Krishna himself will appear in time as the foster son of and Nanda, and he will deliver you." In other words, the curse of Narada was a benediction to the sons of Kuvera, because indirectly it was foretold that they would be able to receive the favor of Lord Krishna. And after that, Kuvera's sons stood as the two big Arjuna tree in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj until Lord Damodara, in order to fulfill the desire of Narada, dragged the grinding mortar to which he was tied and struck the two trees, violently causing them to fall down. From out of these fallen trees came Nalkuvera and Manigriva, who had by then become great devotees of the Lord. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
So now curse of Narada proved beneficial for the sons of Kuvera. Haya Shirshya Sri Narayana Vyahastave. The next paragraph is 46. The other next paragraph has 47, 48, 49. So I will read all 46, 47, 48, 49. Two paragraphs has all this. Na dharmam kamam artham va moksham va varirishvara prarthaya tava padabje dasyam evabhikamaye tatraiva punha punhar varam distur vishnur muktim va yachitah bhaktireva vrtayena prarabdham tam namamyaham. This is 46, 47. The translation goes like this. So, Hayashirshva Pancharatraha Narayana Vyahastava. In the Hayashirsha Pancharatra says, O Lord, bestower of benediction, I do not pray for dharma, artha, kama, moksha. I just desire service in your lotus feet. I offer my respects to Prahlad, who asked only for devotion. He did not pray to Vishnu for liberation through Vishnu, though Vishnu wanted to give many benedictions. Then 48 verse, Yatruchayalabdham api Vishnu dasharatistuyah naicham moksham vina dasyam tasmat tasmad atumate namaha. So, Hetumate namaha. I offer my respects to Hanumate namaha, Hanuman, who did not want liberation, which Rama could easily give, but instead wanted servitude. So I offer my prayers to Hanumate namaha, Hanuman, who did not want liberation. Again, 49th verse says, Ateva prasiddham Shri Hanumad Vakyam Bhavabandha Chide Tasya Sprahayam Sna Muktaye Bhavan Prabhur Aham Dasasati Tu Yatraha Viluptete. So here Hanuman's statement is very famous. I do not desire liberation that cuts the bondage of material life, because in the state of liberation, awareness that you are the master, I am the servant disappears. What a powerful statement. Vilupte, vilupyate. Vilupyate means it disappears. What disappears? That you are Prabhu and I am your dasa. Bhavan Prabhu, aham dasaha. This statement is very important. Bhavan Prabhu, you are Prabhu, aham dasaha. That becomes lupta. The moment a person seeks liberation, he is away from seva, because he just thinks about himself and he wants to be alone, and he's not interested in any service. He's just trying to merge in the Supreme Brahman, and he is more into jnana. That jnana is not allowing him to serve. So because of that, what happens? You are Prabhu, I am your servant. And that attitude goes away. That awareness goes away. Okay, Narayana, read. Narayana, read.
Mataji, shall I read, Mataji?
Can I
It's
read,
a voice
Mataji?
read. Hari, read. Chumori, read.
There is a passage in the Higher Shesha Pancharatra which states, My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I do not want any resultant benediction from my religious life, nor do I want any economic development, nor do I want to enjoy sense gratification, nor liberation. I simply pray to be an eternal servant at your lotus feet. Kindly oblige me and give me this benediction. In the same highest Pancharatra, after Narasimha Dev wanted to give benedictions to Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlada did not accept any material benediction and simply asked the favor of the Lord to remain his eternal devotee. In this connection, Prahlad Maharaj cited the example of Hanuman, the eternal servitor of Lord Ramachandra, who also set an example by never asking any material favor from the Lord. He always remained engaged in the Lord's service. That is the ideal character of Hanuman, for which he is still worshipped by all devotees. Prahlad Maharaj also offered his respectful obeisances unto Hanuman. There is a well known verse spoken by Hanuman in which he says, My dear Lord, if you like, you can give me salvation from this material existence or the privilege of merging into your existence. But I do not wish any of these things. I do not want anything which diminishes my relationship with you as servant to master, even after liberation.
Yeah. See, Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Hanuman, but there are some fanatics in ISKCON who say we should not pray to Hanuman. Just imagine there was a Diksha, what do you say, examination and all these things happen. Diksha candidates examination, then oral examinations and all those things. So they asked, are you praying Hanuman? I said, yes, we pray Hanuman. No, then you are not fit for initiation. Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Hanuman just because of this line. I don't want liberation. Bhavan, Prabhu, Aham Dasya. Prahlad Maharaj is also praying to Hanuman. So Hanuman's dedication to Prabhu Ram, Hanuman's eagerness to serve Prabhu Ram, that has to be seen. Even when we chant Hanuman Chalisa, what is there? It is said you have to go on chanting Ram's name. And now don't see Bheda in Ram and Krishna. When you're chanting Krishna's name, it automatically goes to Rama. So in this way, praying to Hanuman and seeking his eagerness to serve Lord, that eagerness should be asked for. In a similar, now Narada, 50 and 51, they are there in the next paragraph. Shri Narada Pancharatra Jitante Stotre Dharmartha Kama Moksha Richa Mama Kadachana Nama Kadachana Tvat Pada Pankajayado Jivitam Diyatam Mama Moksha Salokya Sarupyam Prarthaye Sa Dharadhara Icham Hi Mahabhagaha Hiranyam Tava Suvrataha. So in this Jivanta Stotra of the Narada Pancharatra says, I do not have the desire at all for Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So what is Bhakti? It is Panchama Purushartha. This is 4 Purushartha. Bhakti is the Panchama Purushartha, which even surpasses Moksha. Please make my life completely dependent upon your lotus feet. I do not pray for liberation, Salokya, Sarupya, O upholder of the earth. Most distinguished Lord, true to your vows, I only desire your mercy. So I do not want anything. And what is mercy of Krishna? Engaging in devotional service. Beyond that, nothing should be asked to Lord. Just engage me in your service. So in that, everything is included. You don't have to ask for good health. If you are engaged in the service, automatically health is good. You do not have to ask for anything. I want this opulence, that opulence. Everything is provided, because if you have to serve Lord, naturally everything is provided, whatever is necessary. So to the king, don't ask something small. Just ask your service. That is enough. Okay, read Jumu. Continue from here.
Yes. In a similar passage in the Narada Pancharatra, it is stated, my dear Lord, I do not wish any perfectional stage by performing the ritualistic religious ceremonies, or by economic development, or by sense gratification or liberation. I simply pray that you grant me the favor of keeping me under your lotus feet. I do not wish any kind of liberation such as Salokya to reside on your planet, or Sarupya to have the same bodily features as you. I simply pray for your favor that I may be always engaged in your loving service.
Now Ateva Shri Bhagavan Shashti. This verse again you have to memorize. I'll put this verse. Have I put that? Bhukti Mukti Spurha Yavat. Have I put that verse? If I have not put that verse, I'll put that also verse and this also verse. Muktanam api siddhanam Narayana Parayana Sudurlabha Prashantatma Kotishwapi Mahamune. Prabhupada quotes this verse in most of the places. Muktanam api siddhanam Narayana Parayana. So among the millions who are liberated, Muktanam api Siddhanam, they may be Siddhis also. Siddhana, they may be perfect in their knowledge of liberation. Siddhana means they have attained Siddhis. Muktanam api Siddhana. Among these, Narayana Parayana, one only may be a devotee of Lord. Among so many millions of Muktas and millions of Siddhas, there will be one who is a pure devotee of Lord Narayana. Sudurlabha Prashantatma. And how is a devotee? He is always very peaceful. Kotishwapi Mahamuni. And such a peaceful devotee is very, very rare. Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayana sudurlabha prashantatma koteshapi mahamuni. Among millions of liberated souls, those who have perfected in their knowledge also, there will be one devotee who is a pure devotee of Narayana. There will be one pure devotee of Narayana, and he will be very peaceful. Okay, and then this is 52nd. 52nd. 2 paragraphs are there for this. Neeraj Prabhu, read.
So in a similar passage in the Narad Pancharatra, it is stated.
Over that. Next.
Next one. Sorry. Similarly, in the 6th canto, 14th chapter, verse 5 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaj Parikshit inquires from Shukadev Goswami, "My dear Brahmana, I understand that the demon Vritasur was a greatly sinful person and that his mentality was completely absorbed in the modes of passion and ignorance. How did he develop to such a perfectional stage of devotional service to Narayan? I have heard that even great persons who have undergone severe austerities and who are liberated with full knowledge must strive to become devotees of the Lord. It is understood that such persons are very rare and almost never to be seen. So I am astonished that Vratasur became such a devotee."
Read next verse.
In the above verse, the most important thing to be noted is that there may be many liberated persons who have merged into the existence of the impersonal Brahman. But a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana is very, very rare. Even out of millions of liberated persons, only one is fortunate enough to become a devotee.
So Jiva Goswami writes in the commentary for Muktanam, they are liberated souls of this material world who are trying to merge in the Brahman. Who are Siddhanam? They are the ones who have attained Salokya, Sarupya, Shastri, Samipya. They are those people. Those who have attained liberation in the spiritual world. One who has attained liberation in the material world, one who has attained liberation in the spiritual world. So among even them also, there is only one person who is a staunch devotee of Narayana. We cannot find to find such a devotee is very, very rare. Okay. Now Kunti Maharani prayers, 53rd.
Yeah, should I?
Wait. I have not read the prayers now.
Okay, very good.
Prathame cha Shri Dharmaraja Matu Stutau Dharmaraja Mata 1.8.20. Tata Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katham Pashyamahi Striyaha. Very nice verses. You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service into the hearts of advanced transcendentalists, mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate matter and spirit. How then we women know you perfectly? The most important verse where the humility of Kunti Maharani is expressed. Now just see Kunti Maharani who is worshipped. These prayers are worshipped by all the sages. She never fought to become a Diksha Guru, isn't it? She expresses the most humble attitude. Tata Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam. Amalatmanam means those whose hearts are so pure. You are easily available to them. Paramahamsas, Munina, you are very easily available to them. Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham. They can understand what is Bhakti Yoga because they have so much higher intelligence. Paramahamsas and Munina, Munis, they are very intelligent. But a woman, I am just a simple woman. How am I going to know you perfectly? So this is the most important verse. If you read Kunti Maharani prayers, they are so beautiful prayers. So all the verses since verse 23, now this chapter started like that, no? That those who desire the happiness of serving the Lord do not desire liberation. Now starting with the present verse, the intention is to describe the efforts of such devotees to offer prayers or services to the Lord. How can we women understand Pashyeta? How can we understand you whose purpose is to teach Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham. How can we understand you? How can we? It's not so easy to understand Bhakti. So we women, how can we understand you? Indirectly, it is said, it is very easy to understand Bhakti by women. Why? Because they are simple-hearted. They are not complicated. Even in Bhagavad Gita, if you see, Krishna says, though they are low-born, Striyo, Vaishyas, Tata, Shudras, but they can easily attain me because they have a simple heart. They are not into finding logics for everything. If you are very simple-hearted, you accept it very easily. There is a story about a cobbler and a Brahmana, if you know. Narada goes to cobbler. The cobbler is asking, what is Lord doing there in the Vaikuntha? He says, Lord is trying to remove an elephant from the needle's ear. Oh, only Lord can do that. He very simply accepted it. He went to Brahmana. Brahmana asked what Lord is doing in Vaikuntha. He is trying to remove elephant from the needle's ear, needle's eyes. He said, why are you fooling me? How can it be possible? The moment he asked this, Narada vanished. The Lord asked, did you meet anybody? He said, yes, I met a cobbler. I met this person. What did you say? I said like this. What did cobbler say? Cobbler said, you can do anything. So that is what is known as a simple acceptance, which a woman can do it, because women don't have that much brain to find out all logics and all these things. If she is a woman, she will not have so much of brains. If she is not a woman, she will try to find out how is it possible, how can Lord do this, do that. Yes, Lord can do anything and everything. He is God, generator, operator, destroyer. We don't have to find out how is it possible. But if you see Paramahamsas, if you see Munis, when it comes to Munis, Srila Prabhupada writes in the second chapter about Muni. These Munis, they have so much of Tarka and Vitarka. Because of that, they established many Siddhantas, many philosophies. They always have their own opinions. Munis are those, if you can find out in the purport, in which chapter Muni has come, where Prabhupada speaks about Muni. This is their homework for the Bhagavad Gita. What is the meaning of Muni? Muni means one who always places his argument. You just ask a simple question, who is God? He will try to give various definitions for God. One Muni will never have the same thought process of another Muni. That means they always argue. So in this, when Srila Prabhupada asked, who is God? Many of the intelligent people had come over there, all Vedantists. They were giving various description, who is God? Prabhupada said, I just want one word. They could not give one word. Prabhupada called a small child and asked, who is God? Krishna, and just ran away. Prabhupada gave some sweets. It's a very good, wonderful. Just one word, Krishna. So for a woman, it is very easy to accept. Indirectly, it is said, how can we women know you perfectly through all these logical statements? That means indirectly what is said, nobody can know Lord very perfectly because we have limited intelligence. Every one of us have limited intelligence. To know Lord through logics is impossible. Just accept whatever Krishna has given. If we learn to accept that, it is very easy to perform devotion. If I try to know if and but and this and that, we will be only going inside, nothing is going to be obtained. But if you accept, yes, Krishna is my father, immediately it is enough to understand. Krishna is a protector, that is enough. So 6 aspects of devotional service. Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam, rakshisatati vishwaso, gopturte varnam tatha, atmanikshepa karpanye, shadavida sharanagatihi. These 6 things can be easily understood. Again, Bhagavad Gita, if you see 18th chapter, 65th verse, Sarvadharman Parityaja, where Srila Prabhupada puts this in the purport. 6 aspects of surrenderance should be understood. Anukulyasa sankalpa, yes. Whatever anukul in devotional service, perform. Pratikulyasa varjanam, give up all these things. Even give up the speculations, logical speculations. Just give up all these things. Rakshisatati vishwaso, Krishna is there to protect. Atmanikshepakarpa. Guptrupte Varnam Kratha. Krishna is our guardian. Atmanikshepakarpanya. Atmanikshepa means try to analyze oneself instead of analyzing others. Atmanikshepa, try to analyze oneself. What are the contaminations which I have? Karpanya, have the humble attitude. This is there, easy to attain Krishna. Okay, read. Neeraj Prabhu, continue.
So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter, verse 20, Queen Kunti is praying to Lord Krishna at the time of his departure. My dear Krishna, you are so great that you are inconceivable even to great stalwart scholars and paramhansas, fully liberated souls. So if such great sages who are transcendental to all the reactions of material existence are unable to know you, then as far as we are concerned, belonging to the less intelligent human class, how is it possible for us to know your glories? How can we understand you? In this verse, the particular thing to be noted is that the personality of Godhead is not understood by great liberated persons, but only by devotees such as Queen Kunti in her humbleness. Although she was a woman and was considered less intelligent than a man, still she realized the glories of Krishna. That is the purport of this verse.
Okay, read further.
Another passage that is very important is in Srimad Bhagavatam.
No, 1 minute. I have to read 54th. 1 second, 54th. Tatreva Shri Suktau 1.7.10. Atmaramascha muniyo nirgrantha api urukrame kuruvanti ahaitukam bhaktim tambhuta guno hari. Again, you can memorize this verse. Very important verse where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given 64 meanings for this verse. Atmaramascha muniyo nirgrantha. Who is an Atmaram? Atmaram. Atmaramascha muniyo nirgrantha api urukrame. Kuruvanti ahaitukim bhaktim ittam bhuta guno hari. All different varieties of Atmaram. Those who are taking pleasure in Atma, they're also liberated now. They're taking pleasure in Atma. Especially those who are fixed on the path of self-realization and those freed from all rules and regulations of the scriptures, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the Lord. That means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls. Atmaramascha muneo. Cha means even though he is an Atmaram, nirgrantha api. Api means even though. He is a person who is completely free from all the rules and regulations. He is a person who is walking on the path of self-realization. Even he desires service to the Supreme Lord. Kuruvanti ahaitukim bhaktim. He also desires Atmaram. Even though he is walking on the path of self-realization, ahaituki bhakti is desired by even the liberated souls. Ittam bhuta guno harihi. This is the guna of Hari, that he can attract even the liberated souls. For this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given 64 meanings. If you see the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this has been described. Okay. Now Vishwambhar Prabhu, you read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Another passage which is very important is in Srimad Bhagavatam. First canto, 7th chapter, verse 10, and is called the Atmaram verse. In this Atmaram verse, it is stated that even those who are completely liberated from material contamination are attracted by the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna. The purport of this verse is that a liberated soul has absolutely no desire at all for material enjoyment. He is wholly freed from all kinds of material desires. Yet still he is irresistibly attracted by the desire to hear and understand the pastime of the Lord. We may therefore conclude that the glories and pastimes of the Lord are not material. Otherwise, how could the liberated person known as Atmaramas be attracted by such pastimes? That is the important point in this verse. From the above statement, it is found that a devotee is not after any of the stages of liberation. There are 5 stages of liberation.
Jai
Already
Prabhuji,
explained.
Hare Krishna. This is next verse.
Wait. 55th verse. I have to give you now 3 verses. Bhukti Mukti Pishachadi, Muktanam Api Siddhanam, Atma Ramascha Maniva. These are the next 3 verses which you have to memorize. Already I think I have put 3-4 verses. Add this also. Atra Tyajata Yavuktaha Mukti Pancha Vidhapi Chet Salokyadis Tatha Pyatraha Bhaktyaha Niti Virodhyate. Though the 5 types of mukti have been described as worthy of rejection, Salokya, Shastri, Samipya, Sarupya are not so contradictory to bhakti. This has been rejected. Though these 4 are not extremely contradictory to bhakti, they are contradictory to a small degree, since they are accomplished with some unfavorable attitude. The favorable portion in these 4 is caused by the acceptance of some bhakti. If the devotee has a desire for these 4, independent of the desire to please Lord, then bhakti is no longer anyavilashita shunya. Nice it has been given that these 4 are not so contradictory to bhakti, but if the desire is just to attain this and not please Krishna, then it is not coming in the category of anyavilashita shunya. There should not be any other desire except to please Krishna. For that, if Krishna is giving Samipya, not a problem. For that, if Krishna is giving Sarupya, not a problem. Diyamanam na pashyanti vina mat sevanam janaha. Without your devotion, without your service, I don't want all these 4 things. But if these 4 things are given and we are able to accomplish the mission of pleasing Krishna, then these 4 are not contradictory to bhakti. Like if Krishna is coming in front of you and says, oh, you want Sarupya? Don't say, I don't want these all things. No, if it is giving your service, give it. You want Samipya? Immediately don't remember that sloka, oh, Sarupya, Samipya, these are the portions, I don't want all these things. No, you can take it. You can take it provided you have desire to please Krishna. So priority is not getting it. Priority is to please Krishna. Simple. For that, even if a person has to go to hell, not a problem. Even if he is going to hell and preaching Krishna consciousness and that is pleasing Krishna, what is the problem? So Haridas Thakur says, even if I have to go to hell, I don't mind. But my whole aim should be to chant and make others also chant. That is why he is Lamacharya. So staying in Bombay is not a problem. Provided you do bhakti, give bhakti to others also. What is the use of going to Vrindavan where you don't want to do any bhakti and you just want to gossip? Then you're spoiling the mood of Vrindavan also. So it is not the place which matters. It is your consciousness which matters. You go to Vrindavan, you're interested in just eating some chaat in Lohiya Bazaar, and then you're not interested in bhakti. But on the contrary, you are staying in Bombay and all the time you're chanting and you're making others also to chant. That is more important. So it is not the place. It is not, see, place has the strength, but you should understand the value of the place. If you don't understand the value, then. So that is why the whole consciousness is to please Krishna. When Narsimha offered Prahlad Maharaj that you can choose either my lap or association of Narada. Then Prahlad Maharaj chose association of Narada. Because in association of Narada, there are 2 things. He can get service to the Lord and he can hear about Lord. Wherever he is hearing about Lord, naturally Lord is present and indirectly he gets the service of Lord. So in this way, what is more important is service to Krishna. That's more important. Okay. Hansrupi Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Mataji, I'll read. From the above statement, it is found that a devotee is not after any of the stages of liberation. There are 5 stages of liberation already explained as being: 1, to become one with the Lord; to live on the same planet as the Lord; to obtain same bodily features as the Lord; to have same opulences as the Lord; and to have constant association with the Lord. Out of these 5 liberated stages, the one which is known as Swajya, or to merge with the existence of the Lord, is the last to be accepted by a devotee. The other 4 liberations, although not desired by devotees, still are not against the devotional ideals. Some of the liberated persons who have achieved these 4 stages of liberation may also develop affection for Krishna and be promoted to the Golok Vrindavan planet in the spiritual sky. In other words, those who are already promoted to Vrindavan, the Vaikuntha planet, and who possesses the 4 kinds of liberation may also sometimes develop affection for Krishna, become promoted to Krishna Lok.
Yes.
So those who are in the 4...
Wait. So he's automatically promoted to Krishna Loka. One who has desire to serve Krishna, he is in Krishna Loka. Separately, he doesn't have to do anything. Krishna automatically transfers him in Krishna Loka. Now, 56th verse is there in the next paragraph, 57 in the other next, 57, 58, and the last is 59, which Gadadhar Prabhu will read. Let me do all the first, I'll do 56, then you read. Sukaishwarya, Sukaiswaryottaraseyam, Prema Sevottare, Tiapi, Salokyadirvidha, Tatra Nadya Seva Jushamata. The 2 varieties of these 4 types of liberation. 1, predominated by the desire for happiness and power. Other, predominated by the desire for prema. The first variety is not accepted by those who are inclined to serve Krishna. Just now we saw, what is your priority? To experience the happiness or to please Krishna? Because you get a position, naturally there is a happiness and you have a show-off tendency. Oh, Krishna has given Rupa like him. Oh, Krishna has given opulence like him. Krishna is making me just sit next to him. Samipya, Salokya. He has given the whole planet like me, like him. So naturally, there is a happiness which is experienced. And also the power also is experienced. And then the show-off tendency is there. Is that the mood? Or even though I have all these things, oh Lord, let me not be carried away by the pride. Oh Lord, let me serve you in all the circumstances. Sometimes you get position. You get a position of, you hold a position. Even in the temples also, you see there are positions which has been given. Is that position giving me ahankara? Or is that position allowing me to serve more? When I have to analyze, position is not a problem. But sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam. Don't be carried away by the position. If the position be there, if it is there in your bhagya, you are getting the position. But nirmalam, always the heart should be like a child. Nirmala, no mala. Just rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. If that is the attitude, then position is not a problem. Position is allowing you to serve more, take it. But the priority of giving so much importance to that happiness and power, that should not be there. That is what is given here. 2 varieties of liberation. Okay, Prabhuji read. The other Prabhu read.
Correction, Mother. Idanat naam to you. So those who are in the four liberated states may still be going through different stages of existence. In the beginning, they may want the opulences of Krishna, but at the mature state, the dormant love for Krishna exhibited in Vrindavana becomes prominent in their heart. As such, the pure devotees never accept the liberation of Sayujya to become one with the Supreme. though sometime they may accept the other four liberated sects.
Okay, now 57th verse. Kintu premaika madhurya jushta ekantino harau naivagya kurvate jatu muktim panchavidhamapi. But the devotee is fully attached to the Lord, who relish the sweetness of prema, never accept the 5 types of liberation. So again the same has been told that those who are pure devotees do not accept prema uttara mukti, 5 types of liberation, if it is devoid of service to Krishna. A little desire for sukha and aishwarya. Now, if that comes, even if a little desire comes, then that becomes contradictory to pure devotional service. So the devotees do not desire this type of sukha and aishwarya. Okay. Then 58 words also I'll read, because this paragraph has both 57 and 58. Tatrapi ekantinam shrestha govindarata manasaha yesham trisha prasadopi manohatum na shaknuyat. Among the devotees who are dedicated solely to serving the Lord in prema, the devotees whose hearts have been stolen by Govinda are the best. Even the kindness of Narayana or other forms of Krishna cannot steal their hearts. It is Govinda who can steal. Narayana also cannot steal. That has been, even other forms of Krishna cannot steal. Because Govinda refers to Krishna. Govinda, go means the senses. Only Krishna can control the senses, and only Krishna can steal the senses. So it is said, among the devotees who are completely serving Krishna in prema, their hearts are stolen by Govinda. Okay, Prabhu, read next paragraph.
Out of many kinds of devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the one who is attracted to the original form of the Lord, Krishna in Vrindavana, is considered the foremost, first-class devotee. Such a devotee is never attracted by the opulences of Vaikuntha or even the Dwaraka, the royal city where Krishna ruled. The conclusion of Sri Rupa Goswami is that the devotees who are attracted by the pastimes of the Lord in Gokula or Vrindavana are the topmost devotees.
Yes. They are attracted to
Can I
the
continue, Mataji?
sweetness of Krishna. Wait. They are attracted to the sweetness of Krishna. They are not much interested in the opulence of Krishna. Even if opulence of Krishna is there, they admire, no doubt, but still they're interested in the sweet form of Krishna, in the sweet dealings of Krishna. Once Gopakumar goes to Vaikuntha, there he sees his Lord sitting on lying on Ananta Shaya, Vishanka Chakra Gada Padma. He says, "Oh Lord, where is your Basuki? Where are your cows? And why have taken such an opulent form? You are not my Krishna. You are not that Krishna who plays with me." Is Gopakumar. He has a Sakya Bhav with Krishna. So he says, this is not the place where I can relish that Sakya Bhav. Sakya Bhav achieves the highest perfection. Any Bhava. You say Madhurya Bhava, Vatsalya Bhava, Sakya Bhava, Dasya Bhava. They attain the highest perfection in Goloka. Dasya Bhava, anyhow, it is there in Vaikuntha also, in Goloka also. But other 3 bhavas which is there, that is Sakya, Madhurya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, they attain the highest perfection. Though they are present even in Golok, even in Vaikuntha. But in Goloka, it is the topmost. Now last verse, that is 59th verse. Siddhanantasva abhedapi श्रीशः कृष्णस्वरूपयोः रसेन कृष्यते कृष्णरूपम् एष रसस्थितः. Though the forms of Vishnu and Krishna are not different according to the statements of scriptures, Krishna's form is shown as the superior because of his rasa. which are endowed with the highest type of prema. The very nature of his rasas show Krishna's form to be superior. Now, somebody has Lakshmi Narayana deities. In one temple, there is Radha Krishna deities. We are worshippers of Krishna. We don't want to go to Lakshmi Narayana. But actually, when we are entering even in Radha Krishna temple, we are actually seeing Lakshmi Narayana there. Because we are not so matured yet to relish the sweetness of Krishna. To relish sweetness of Krishna, it is Krishna's mercy. To get the topmost affection for Krishna in the sweet bhava, it is not so easy. So it is not that, we are all ISKCON devotees. No? So what we have to do in Ranganath temple, one of the Mataji, it so happened we went in Yatra. And Ranganath is in the reclining position, lying position. She just came out briskly. I said, hey, we did not take darshan. Yes, Narayana, what we have to do with Narayana? I said, then I didn't say anything. I was just quiet till the class started. In the class it was said, reclining position of Krishna. Krishna is lying, but there Vasudeva, though Ranganatha is lying, he is not Narayana there. He is Sukshma Vasudeva. So Narayana is same Krishna who is in the official form. But here, Ranganatha is Sukshma Vasudeva thinking about gopis of Vrindavan. Immediately again she ran for darshan. So as if, again if she takes darshan, she can immediately understand the mood of Ranganatha. It's not so easy. So even when we are entering our temple, our ISKCON temple, where we have Radha Krishna deities, still we don't have that consciousness to relish the sweet pastimes of Krishna. We as a sadhaka, what we are seeing is actually Lakshmi Narayana only, the opulence of Krishna. Though Krishna is having a bended form with the flute, but actually for us, he's Narayana only. Because we ourselves sadhakas, we cannot relish the sweet form of Krishna. To relish that sweetness, we have to enter his house. See, opulence can be understood by everyone. But to understand the sweetness, you have to enter somebody's house, isn't it? Even in the material world also, to understand the sweetness, oh, how is it that he is a managing director of a company, but on Sundays he's wiping the fan. He's helping his wife. He is becoming a horse for his child. It's not so easy to understand. But it is easy to understand the position of a person. The same person who is God, who is generator, operator, distracted. How is it that he is massaging the feet of Srimati Radharani? How is it that he is carrying the chappal for Nanda Baba? How is it that he dances on the tunes of the gopis of Vrindavan? Sometimes the gopis have sticks to beat Krishna. It's not so easy. It is not artificial also. For that, Krishna's mercy, especially the devotees of Krishna, the highest devotee of Krishna, that is Radharani, the gopis, they have to make us enter the house. Then only we can relish the rasas in the home. So Vraja is the home of Krishna, Vaikuntha is the office of Krishna. So maximum a devotee can reach till Vaikuntha, but to reach Goloka, it requires the mercy of the gopis of Vrindavan to make us enter such rasas, sweet rasas. Okay, read.
A devotee who is attached to a particular form of the Lord does not wish to redirect his devotion to other forms. For example, Hanuman, the devotee of Lord Ramchandra, knew that there is no difference between Lord Ramchandra and Lord Narayana, and yet he still wanted to render service only unto Lord Ramchandra. That is due to the specific attraction of a particular devotee. There are many forms of the Lord, but Krishna is still the original form. Though all the devotees of the different forms of Lord are in the same category. Still it is said that those who are devotees of the Lord Krishna are the topmost in the list of all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Those who are devotees of Lord Krishna are the topmost in the list. So you got the fortune to chant Krishna's name. Now we have to just beg for the mercy of Krishna to make us relish the sweetness of Krishna. Okay. Any doubts?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji, you said about Hanuman into ISKCON and all that. Can you elaborate it more deeply and why it is so?
Hanuman is not coming in a demigod. Hanuman is servant of Krishna, servant of Rama, you can say. So Hanuman has taught us the worship. So if we consider him as one of the demigod, it's wrong. There are people who just consider Hanuman to be everything. Sometimes in a wrong way, they understand Hanuman is God. That is also wrong. Hanuman is not God, he is servant of God. Praying to Hanuman to get that servitorship is nothing wrong. Prahlad Maharaj is praying for that one. Okay, any other question?
Yes, Mataji. I have a question, Mataji. Can I ask you? Mataji, you mentioned in the beginning that, liberation is like where people forget that whether, that differentiation between the Lord and the servant goes away, right?
Hanuman says.
Yeah, you were sharing that.
Bhavani Aham Dasya.
So if that is the truth, Mataji, then how is liberation different from Maya Shakti then? Because we also forget in the world that we live in.
Yes,
We also
there is
forget
a Bhukti, Mukti, Pishachi. This word, Bhukti, Mukti, Spruha, Yavat, Pishachi, Hridi Vartate. If we desire Bhukti, there also you are forgetting Krishna, that is also Maya. And if you are thinking of liberation, that is another way of Maya. It is also Maya only. He may think he is liberated from Maya, but he has no desire for serving Krishna. Then that is also Maya only.
Okay. So
Maya means something which is separate from Krishna. Simple. What is the meaning of Maya? Any tendency.
That which is not real. Yeah.
That which is not real. That which is considered to be separate from Krishna. In that, suppose you are asking Krishna Loka. How you are seeing it separate from Krishna? You have got that Loka for having your pleasure, for proving that you are something great. But there you are not seeing that you got that Loka to serve Krishna. So you have seen again it as separate from Krishna. You have given priority to your happiness and power.
Deep. Thank you, Mataji.
Nainu, you have any doubt? Or you are going to clear our doubt? Now chant.
पातात्मजं वानरेद्धमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये नमामि दूतं रामस्य सुखदं च सुरध्रुवं पीनवित्रं महाबाहुं सर्वशत्रुनिवारणम् श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने.
Very good. She chants whole Hanuman Chalisa every day.
कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai. Nainu ki jai.